Okay, so now you fold your material. And how you're folding your material, you'll be using the hip measurement. If the hip is the biggest, I believe your hip will be bigger than your chest. So use your hip measurement. You divide the hip by 4. If your hip is 40, you divide it by 4, which is 10, and you add 2 inch to it, making it 12. Well, for this one, I'm using hip 42. I divided by 4, which is 10 and a half plus 2 inches, making it 12 and a half, but I use 13. So that's what you do. So now I'm pressing the material so it will lie very well. Make sure you iron your material very well. And the reason I am ironing this material very well is because vintage material, once you start sewing and you apply iron on it, now it will start shrinking. So it is better you press it before cutting. Okay, so now we'll start the marking. Okay, what I did here, I trimmed out the English mouth of the clothes. I don't like the English mouth to be showing inside the outfit, maybe when I'm done. So I'm trimming it out. So I'll take 3 inches for the allowance for folding. Allowance for folding 3 inches before I take the full length. So that's the allowance for folding. Okay, that's also rolling it to be straight like this. Okay, so now I'll take the full length like this. I'll measure the full length and I'll mark like so. I'll roll it out. Then this point we are ruling now, ruling the straight line now. That's where we'll measure our shoulder. And how to measure your shoulder? If your shoulder is 18, you divide it by 2, which is 9. If your shoulder is 20, you divide it by 2, which is 10. So that is what I did. Shoulder measurements, I divided it by 2. I did not add any allowance to the shoulder. I used the exact measurement of the shoulder. So from that part now, we measure the armhole. How to get the armhole? You divide your chest measurement by 4 minus 1.5. So our chest measurement is 40. You divide by 4, which is 10 minus 1.5, which is 42. You do the same. At this point now, we'll mark our chest measurement like this. When you mark the chest measurement, you add 1.5 allowance. See, like this. Then now for the shoulder, we'll slant the shoulder with 3 inches, like so. Slant the shoulder with 3 inches. Then we'll connect it down. Okay, I'm using my French curve to get the armhole. Like, okay, connect the shoulder down to that part, like so, just like this. You connect that part like this. That's the slope, the shoulder slope, like this. Okay, so I'm using my French curve now to get the armhole, the curve for the armhole. That's so. Okay, that's it. Then the hip area. I'll take the measurement for the hip area too. Uh-huh. The hip area divided by 4 plus 1.5 for the allowance. That's why you're seeing the 2 marking. Then for the opening on the down part, you can use 7, you can use 6, depending on how you want it to be. If you want to be a little bit open, you can do it like that. So I can do it now. It is time to cut it out. Okay. So for the neck, we'll be using our V neck. So I'll be marking 3 inches for the top opening. I'm using 3 inches. It is a V neck. Then that part I'll be using 7. 7. Then watch what I will do. Pay attention to this part. Then here like this, I'll use half inch. You see half inch like this, and I'll connect. Connect it like so, just like that, and I'll cut it out. Okay, so now it is time to cut the back. Time to cut the back. The same wideness you use for your front, that's the same wideness we'll be using for the back also, except you want to put a kind of design or a kind of pleat at the back area. But for this one, there is no pleat, so you'll be using the same thing. You'll be using the same, so that's it. Okay, so that's it. You fold the material like this. Okay, so I'm trying to confirm if the measurement is aligning with the front, so that's what I'm doing now. Make sure you do the same too. So after doing it, I make sure to press the material, press it down. Okay, now I'm placing the front on the back because we'll be using the front to cut the back. The back is not too complicated, it's just very simple. We've done all the calculation on the front, so this is what we're doing. Watch very closely. So at the shoulder part, we slanted the shoulder with 3 inches. So at the back, we'll be adding the 3 inches to the back like this. Adding the 3 inches to the back. Remember, we slanted the front shoulder with 3 inches. So we're adding the 3 inches now to the back like this. And that's all for the back. We'll just maybe the arm hole will be a little bit different, but just watch what I'm doing. Watch what I'm doing. Please, if you're getting value, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be dropping more videos later. The back shoulder is not too curvy like the front one, so this is what I'm going to do because the back is a little bit bulky. So I'll be using 1.7. I'll be using 0.7, not 0.5. 0.7 to get the back, so it will not be too deep like the front one. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just trimming the down part, the English mouth of the back side, so to not also show. So I'll fold that one to overlap on the front by ½ inch. Make sure the folding when you're folding that shoulder to overlap on the front, it is overlapping by ½ inch, ½ inch on it, like so. Then I'll press it to lie down so it will not be shaking when I'm marking. So this is what I would do. See, I'll connect that line together like this. If you notice, the back curve is a little bit straight, while the front one is a little bit curvy. That's how it's supposed to be. So just like this. That's it. Now cut it out. Yeah, like so. So for the back neck, you'll be marking 2.5. Remember the front neck we use 3, but this back one we're using 2.5 because it will be like a turn up. Okay, so that's it. Then I'll measure the armhole. I will measure the armhole of the back. Like this. I will use the armhole to cut the sleeve. Use the armhole to cut the sleeve. So if maybe after you measure your armhole and the measurement is 10, you fold your material like 20. You understand? But if you okay, this is what just if maybe you measure your armhole and the measurement is 10, don't fold your material because we'll be cutting the two sleeves together. Don't fold your material to be up to 20. It can be up to 18. Don't make it 19, just make it 18 because after you make the curve, it will be up to that 10 you're looking for. The two sleeves, so we'll be cutting it together. Make sure you press your material very well. Make sure you press your material very well. So after pressing, now we fold, you see, fold like this. So now once we cut, we are cutting the two sleeves together, not just one. Then we'll start on marking. Okay, I'm trimming out the English mouth. That's what we call it, the English mouth. So that's it. Okay, so start on marking. You first measure your folding allowance, what you use to fold the sleeve inside. I'm using 3 here. You can use 2.5. So you connect the line like this. Then after this now you measure your sleeve. If your sleeve is 9, you measure 9.5, because the half inches, you use the half inches to join the sleeve to the shoulder. Half inches. If your sleeve is 10, measure 10.5. You use the half inches to join the sleeve to the shoulder. So after joining, it will be 10. So at this point now, we'll mark 4.5 to get the curve. At the upper part, we mark 2 inches before we start making the curve. Remember, we'll add 1.5 inches to this cloth, so that will mark the 1.5 inches here, the allowance we added to cloth. See, so the curve will just start from there and enter like this. Then the roundness of the sleeve, you divide it by 2. If the roundness of your sleeve is 14, divide it by 2, which is 7. And you mark the 7 plus 1.5 inches allowance. Mine is 13.5, I guess. Yeah, 13.5. So that's it. And you check if the sleeve is up to that armhole you measured before you start cutting. So that's it. And you cut it out like this.